The Great Hall of Astor Prime had never been so full. Golden banners hung from towering pillars, shimmering under the cold white glow of plasma chandeliers. Generals, nobles, and warriors from across the galaxy had gathered to witness the selection, a tradition older than most civilizations present. It was the moment when the strongest would be chosen to defend the core worlds. And tonight, everyone expected greatness. But not from him. At the far end of the hall stood a man clad in battered, dented armor. His chest plate was cracked down the center, scorched with old burns. One shoulder guard hung loosely, barely attached. His helmet, if it could still be called that, was scratched beyond recognition, its visor fractured. Whispers spread like wildfire. Who let him in? Is this some kind of joke? That armor belongs in a scrapyard. The man didn't respond. He stood still, silent, as if none of it reached him. His name was Kale. Once, long ago, that name meant something. Now, it drew only laughter. At the center of the hall, the High Commander rose from his throne, a towering figure wrapped in polished obsidian armor that gleamed like a mirror. "Step forward," the commander's voice echoed. One by one, warriors approached, each clad in pristine armor powered by advanced alien tech. Their suits hummed with energy, glowing faintly as they moved. Each one stronger, faster, deadlier than the last. And then, "Next," the commander called. A pause. Then Kale stepped forward. The moment he moved, the hall erupted in quiet amusement. Even some of the guards smirked. Kale walked slowly, his damaged armor creaking with every step. It looked like it could fall apart at any moment. The commander's gaze hardened. "You come to the selection wearing this?" he asked coldly. Kale stopped in front of him. "It's all I have." A few chuckles rippled through the crowd. The commander leaned forward slightly. "This is not a place for relics of the past. We seek warriors capable of surviving what's coming." "I know what's coming," Kale said quietly. Something about his tone caused a brief silence, but it didn't last. "Prove it," the commander said. Two elite soldiers stepped forward, their armor glowing with blue energy. Each one could take down an entire squad alone. "You will face them," the commander declared. The crowd leaned in. This would be quick. Kale nodded once. The soldiers activated their weapons, blades of pure energy extending from their wrists. "Begin." They moved instantly, faster than human reflex. One came from the left, the other from behind, perfect coordination. Kale didn't dodge. He didn't even raise his weapon. The first strike landed. Or should have. Instead, the blade stopped inches from Kale's chest. A faint shimmer appeared in the air. The second soldier attacked from behind and was thrown backward as if struck by an invisible force. The hall went silent. "What was that?" someone whispered. Kale stood still. His armor hadn't moved, but the air around him pulsed. The two soldiers regrouped, now cautious. They attacked again, harder, faster. This time, Kale raised his hand, not his weapon, his hand. And the moment he did, the ground beneath them cracked. A shockwave burst outward, sending both soldiers crashing across the hall. Gasps filled the room. The commander stood up slowly. "That's impossible," one of the nobles said. "No text signature," another muttered. Kale lowered his hand. The air stilled. The soldiers didn't get up. The commander stepped down from his throne, eyes locked onto Kale. "Your armor," he said slowly. "It's not generating that energy." Kale said nothing. The commander stopped just a few feet away. "Take it off." A ripple of anticipation spread through the hall. Kale hesitated. For the first time, there was uncertainty in his posture. "Remove your armor," the commander repeated. Silence fell. Slowly, Kale reached for his helmet. The cracked visor reflected the lights one last time. Then, he lifted it off. A collective breath was drawn. But that wasn't the shocking part. His face was calm, human, unremarkable. It was what came next. He unlatched the chest plate. The damaged armor fell away piece by piece, hitting the floor with heavy metallic thuds. And beneath it, there was no suit,
No exoskeleton, no visible technology. Instead, his skin glowed, faint at first, then brighter. Lines of light spread across his body like veins of energy pulsing with a rhythm that felt alive. The temperature in the room dropped, the air grew heavy. Several warriors instinctively stepped back. "What is he?" someone whispered. Kale looked at his hands. The glowing lines intensified. "I was there," he said quietly, "at the edge of the void." The commander's expression shifted just slightly. "The void?" he repeated. Kale nodded. 5 years ago, our fleet was sent to investigate the anomaly beyond the Orion Rift. We thought it was just another energy disturbance. But it wasn't. The lights flickered. "The void isn't empty," Kale continued. "It's alive, and it changes you." The glowing patterns on his skin pulsed stronger. I was the only one who came back. A chill ran through the hall. "What did it do to you?" the commander asked. Kale looked up. "It didn't give me power," he said. "It made me a weapon." The ground trembled slightly. "The armor," Kale gestured to the broken pieces on the floor, "it's not for protection." A pause. "It's a cage." Silence. No one laughed now. No one moved. "I kept it on," Kale continued, "to hold it back, to control it." The commander's voice lowered. "And if you take it off?" Kale met his gaze. "You just saw a fraction of it." A heavy, suffocating tension filled the hall. The commander studied him for a long moment. Then, "Why come here?" he asked. Kale's glow dimmed slightly. "Because what's coming is worse." The room froze. "The void is expanding, and it's not just consuming space." His voice dropped. "It's learning." A murmur spread through the crowd. "If it reaches the core worlds," Kale said, "no armor, no fleet, no weapon will stop it." The commander clenched his jaw. "And you think you can?" Kale shook his head. "No," he said. A pause. "But I can fight it." The glow around him pulsed once more, stronger, controlled. For now. The commander turned away, pacing slowly. The greatest warriors in the galaxy stood in silence, none of them laughing anymore. Finally, the commander stopped. "Then you will fight," he said. He turned back, but not as a candidate. A beat? As our last hope. The hall erupted, not with laughter, but with shock. Kale looked down at his broken armor. For a moment, he said nothing. Then, "Get me a new one," he said quietly. The commander frowned. "You said it was a cage." Kale picked up a piece of the shattered chest plate. "It is," he said. A pause. "But even a weapon needs limits." The glow beneath his skin dimmed just slightly. "But when the time comes," Kale added, "I won't hold back." The commander nodded. "Then let's hope," he said, "that day never comes." Kale didn't respond. Because deep down, he knew it would. Because sometimes the thing meant to protect you is the only thing holding the monster inside you back.